I am the Queen of Hats. Welcome to Spiritual Dessert Trews, episode 5. Still reading this book. The world is your oyster. The world is your oyster. You are the pearl and the oyster. As I threw a handful of his ashes into the sea. That's what Billy said. I had no idea what that meant, but it made me feel luminous. When I returned to my house, I could feel Billy around, so I sat down to my computer. Thanks for sprinkling some of my ashes in the bay this morning. I feel better, I really do, though, because you did it with so much love. When I was alive, I used to say my life ended the day you were born. I'm sorry for that now. It's just that I was always the bad one, and you were the good one. And Daddy loved you so much. It was one thing if Mommy loved you more than me, but not Daddy, too. The family drama, it's the first one, the primary one. It has a lot of oomph. My envying you is a major factor in that drama. On Earth, there's a lot of who's better than who type of issues. That comes a lot of suffering. It's a game devised by the forces of Maya, or illusion, to make you unhappy. That's one of the purposes of illusion. Human misery. Just don't go there, don't do it. By the way, I see it from this side of things. Every soul is unique in very beautiful ways. Some are just farther along the path of development than others, and that's okay. Now that I'm dead, I know it's no fun being the good one, always having to clean up the family mess. And we were messy, that's for sure. And I was the one who got all the attention, wasn't I? It was always about me. What a revelation that was. But you always loved me anyway, didn't you? Took your first steps to me, wrote rhymes for me, looked up to me and out for me like it was your own personal James Dean. And what did I do? Pretty much ignored you. Well, that's over now. I'm making up for it last time. The blessing I gave you today, it's more than some reward for what you did for me. It's a thing of the spirit infusing your life. I could see you sitting at your computer right now crying. You're crying because of how it ended between us. I struggled with my addiction for almost 2 years after the rescue mission, and then I died. You rescued me, but couldn't really rescue me. It was written, those last few months before my death. You told me to stay away and leave you alone. I was a drowning man, Annie, taking you with me. I don't care much about memories anymore, but when I see you there sitting crying, I want you to know there are memories much bigger than the fights you and I had at the end. Down there in that very temporary planet, memories, like getting on that plane from Margarita with my new sidekick, Guru Guy, crashing in a motel room, Miami, and waking up from my very intoxicated sleep and seeing you standing over me like Madonna. I've been away such a long time, and I was so happy to see my baby sister caring for me, saving me, getting me ready for the hospital, doing whatever it took to keep me from dying in hell. So now you're crying at your computer, wondering if I forgive you? Maybe the real question to ask yourself is, do you forgive me? And really, darling, there is no one to forgive, because we signed up to do this dance together before we were born. We weren't acting out some type of I did something wrong to you in another life, I'm paying for it now kind of thing. It doesn't really work that way. That concept of an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, karmic equalizing of the score isn't the real deal. At least not where I am. It's more of a kind of experiment, chosen for soul-type reasons, that humans have an almost impossible time understanding. And not understanding is an important part of the experiment. If people knew the workings of the experiment, it will lose some of its punch. And that losing of punch, that's a little bit of what enlightenment is all about. There was your spiritual nutrition.